Today's gonna be an awesome day. Yes, I'm gonna start building my potential watch list for the day. So the first ticker on scan is IMVT, Immunovant Inc. Research and Development. So they announced earnings. They announced IMVT. They announced earnings. So definitely gonna be putting them into my favorites list. So as long as they meet my criteria after the market opens, then they will pop up here. So let me show you my criteria. So the price has to be above 10, the spread. So the difference between the bid and the ask must be consistently less than 10 cents. So I'm not going to touch it. The relative volume, the amount of volume that is projecting to do by the end of the day should be at least double the average volume for the past 3 months. And it should be up at least 1 million, should have already traded 1 million shares on a day. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Okay, so IMVT is on the list. And if you look at the daily chart, look at the daily chart. Yeah, it's making a huge gap up. So it's at 32, 31.75. Yeah, so this definitely is going to be a watch for me today. So up next on the list is Poet. So Poet looks good just off the daily setup alone. Uh, not seeing a catalyst. Not seeing a catalyst. Not seeing a catalyst per se, but I'm gonna add it to my favorites list because I think it will be in play today. So I'm gonna add it to my favorites list. Up next, USAR. So USAR is gapping up, but I'm not seeing a catalyst on this one. Might be worth putting on the list just based off the daily setup. Plus it's a hot sector as well. That's good intraday fundamentals. So I'm gonna add it, I'm not sure if it will show up on the open market scan, but it looks interesting enough to put on there. Next up we have APLD. So APLD looks interesting as well. Looks like it could be a good bounce play alongside the overall market. So I'm gonna add it I don't think it will pop up unless the R value is really high. So just add it just in case. Just go catches fire for whatever reason. Oklo looks interesting. I'm not seeing a catalyst per se, but I'm gonna add it to my list. My favorites. It looks like it's gonna bounce today. Could bounce today. IRE and like white. Not seeing any catalysts. All of these are just technical plays. So I'm just gonna add it just in case, you never know. So pump. So what's going on with pump? You see PUMP pump petrol pro petrol holdings cooperated. I'm not seeing a catalyst. The average volume is on the lower side, so I'm not gonna add that one to my list. VIAV VRV Solutions Incorporated. So they had an offering. I don't really trade offerings that well. So I think I'm just gonna leave VIAV after this. VRV. Yeah, so they had an offering. They really like trading offerings, so I think I'm just gonna leave that alone. Okay, so unless something else new pops up on the pre-market scan, that's it for now. So I'm just gonna chill until the market opens to see which one of our favorite tickets populates here, which one of our tickets meets our criteria. And we're just gonna observe them 5 minute candle by 5 minute candle from 9:45 until 11:30. If nothing sets up, take no trades. If anything sets up, take the entries. If it triggers an entry, and just put in our orders and let it play out. If it gives us an opportunity to adjust our initial stop, then we do so. Otherwise, we just wait until either our stop gets hit or our initial take profit target gets hit, and then we go from there. So I think later on today we have FOMC minutes. So uh, I'm not surprised that the pre-market scan looks scanty, and I won't be surprised you know if it's on the quieter side. If trading is on the quieter side today, similar to yesterday, right? But what looks good, looks really good. Maybe IMPT, maybe, but Poet for sure looks good. If it sets up, I'm going to trade it. Um, I don't think you saw APL or Oklo also gonna meet my criteria. Doubt it. We'll see. So yeah, guys. So let me show you the favorites list that we have built for today. So this is what we have on the list for today: APLD, IMPT, IREN, Oklo, Poet, and USA. So 6 stickers. Those are the 6 stickers I have on my favorites list so far for today. So if after the market opens, any one of these that meet my criteria, they will populate here. And then I'll just simply observe them candle by candle on the 5 minute chart to see if anything sets up. All right. So this is a job. It's like any other job. It's like any other discipline. There's structure, there's rules. There's a process that you have to follow. Or you're just gonna be throwing your money away. It's might as well light your money on fire or go and buy a bunch of lottery tickets. At least you stand a chance, a very small chance to making money. But if you get into trading, any form of trading, whether it's stocks, currencies, futures, and you don't have a system, you don't have risk management, you don't have a plan, you don't have a setup with an edge, then you're just gonna be pissing your money away. Right. So So at this point in time, I'm completely calm. I've already accepted my risk. You know, I can't lose more than $100. Right, so let me show you plus any slippage. So, so I'm in at 32.74 minus 31.98 equals to that times 121. So my platform automatically computes this for me when I get in. So I can't lose more than this. Plus, if I get a few cents slippage or whatever the case is. So even if I get, let's say, 5 cents slippage, I'm not gonna lose more than 106, maybe 110. So I'm completely okay. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna take this opportunity to adjust my stop to the low, below the low of this candle. So I'm gonna go, let's see, 32.48. Right, got the stop pullback. It retests the entry point, held support, and now it's hitting new heights on the day. So it's looking good so far, but it's the stock market. Any fucking thing can happen. This thing can tank. So now I've reduced my risk to 32.74 minus 32.48 is 26 cents times 121. So now if I get stopped out, I lose 34, the most 40 hit slippage. So now I'm down to less than half an hour risk. So, it's all good. I'm just gonna give this thing a chance to walk. If this doesn't hold 32.50, chances are it's gonna, make a deeper pullback. So, I'm not gonna hold below there. I'm completely happy with this. So now I'm just like a cheerleader, just rooting for it to hopefully take out 33.50 and push on up to my initial TP, which will allow me to put my stop to break even, and then I'll hoping for a move up to 35. I'll take another partial, and then and then my plan is to just hold the last quarter to see how far it wants to go. Because a lot of times, especially these low float stocks, when they break out, they can go. These stocks can go a lot further than anyone anticipates. Yeah, so the markets are getting a bit funky. Um, yes, the higher time frames still are leaning somewhat bullish. 20-minute chart looking a bit, iffy on the SPY, but still leaning to the bull side. Nasdaq looks bullish. Idolium is leading today, showing the most relative strength. So this is very encouraging sign. I mean, it's not a guarantee of anything, but it's encouraging. And IMVT continues to hold up well in spite of the weakness in the SPY and the Qs. IMVT is holding well if you compare them. So let's look at the SPY. You see that the current candle, it's red in the SPY and the Qs, right? But if you look at IMVT, you'll see that the candle is green, it held green. So only thing I don't really like about IMVT is the spread. It's a 6 spread, 24-cent spread. So the chance of slippage is very high. But it continues to act well. So absolutely no reason to trouble it. You can take out 33.50. That would be really good. Really love to see this take out 33.50. I think I'm gonna put my initial take profit just a little bit higher. just before just in front of this resistance over here. Alright, so I mean, if this pops, it should get at least to this resistance level. So I'm thinking, right, we should see at least a test of 34.50 at least. Alright, and then I'm gonna be looking for to take another piece off at 35, and then for my stop at break even and the rest. That's if it wants to work. At this point in time, we still don't know what this thing is gonna do. The stocks are crazy. They can do any fucking thing. This can tank. Boom. In seconds, be down like 31, 30, 50. It's just the nature of stocks, or especially like, this low float, stocks, these lower cap stocks like IMVT, these tech stocks, these stocks can be crazy. That's why I don't trade stocks, with floats below 25 million. Extremely difficult to manage risk, even impossible. So that's why you see a lot of guys, they get enamored by the big moves that they see, in the lower float, lower cap stocks. But the name of this game is risk management. Risk management first, anything else after, survival is key. If you listen to the legendary Warren Buffett, his first rule, it's not has nothing to do with making money. His first rule is all about protecting what you already have. Right? It all goes back to that old saying, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So you gotta absolutely gotta protect the capital, because if you don't have no capital, then you can't play the game. Right? So you can't play this beautiful game, stock market. So far so good. This thing looks really good. So if we can take out, I think once we get through 34, I think I should get filled. Looks like it wants to get through 34, but you never know. You never can tell. So far so good. I think the overall markets might be coming under some selling pressure. Maybe that's what's holding IMVT down a bit. So the IWM looks so good. IMVT should definitely work. So Carver is potentially setting up here, guys. I'm not in love with it, especially with the markets, being more bullish in my opinion. So I think I'm gonna leave Carver alone for right now and just hold on to my IMVT position. Okay, so Carver's spread is crazy, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that. No, we just want to see a break and hold above 34 in IMPT. You want to see the bid get above 34. If the bid can get above 34, it's a very good chance that we get a fill on our initial TP. Yeah. The SPY is acting really weak, showing a lot of relative weakness right now. Nasdaq is showing relative strength, and the IWM is the strongest of all three, so it's really good sign. It's bodes really well for our trade. We still have half an hour at risk. Well, technically, we have 2 hours at risk because we're up 1.5 hour, plus risking another half hour of our own capital. But we have a system that we have to follow. If we don't follow our system, then the days that we're supposed to make a lot of money, we're not going to make a lot of money because we're going to fool ourselves into locking in profits early, and then maybe end up getting like, let's say I close this day out here at 144, and then, later on I check back and IMVT goes to 40, right? So a day when I should have made maybe three, four, $500 in profit. I'm only gonna lock in 144. Then let's say tomorrow things don't pan out. I end up hitting max loss. Then I'm gonna be red, over the 2 day period. But if I stick to the script, do what I gotta do and make three, four, five, even if I hit max loss tomorrow, worst case I'm gonna be break even over the 2 days. So you gotta think long term, you gotta think bigger picture in this game. That's why over 95% of people lose money. Because they have no big picture plan, no framework that guides their decision making. It's just all about adrenaline rush and, you know, having fun and gambling, that kind of thing. But that's not my game. My game is making money, paying my rent, paying my bills, living a comfortable lifestyle until I can scale up my account, and start traveling, business class, first class, you know, going all over the world. That's my goal. That's why I got into trading because I wanted to, a wealthy lifestyle. Uh, so IMVT continues to look good. Seems like the overall markets are coming under a bit of selling pressure, but thankfully the alpha is not very high. So I don't know. Maybe IMVT could resist the selling pressure, but the IWM as well is pulling back a bit. But considering all that, IMVT, is holding up fairly well. See if it can reclaim 34 and hold over. Yeah. So far, this thing looks awesome on the daily and the 30 and the 5. Everything looks really good. Absolutely no reason to trouble it at all. If it comes apart and stops us out, then so be it. It's all part of the game. You know what I'm saying? There's absolutely nothing that we can do about it. Okay. So far, IMPT is holding up really good considering because seems to spice it in new lows on the day. The Nasdaq likewise. And the Russell is showing relative continues to show relative strength. And so too does IMPT. So yeah, no reason to panic really. Some nice buying comes into the overall markets. Like it's suspected as us leaning to the bull side. I see some buying here, but I'm not surprised that the market's on the choppier side today because later on today we have FOMC minutes. So just gonna continue to just chill and just hold IMVT until my initial TP is hit. Um, I think I can put my stop up to below the whole dollar at 33. So no, absolutely can't lose money on this thing. Can't lose money. The most I'm gonna do is just give back my unrealized gains, and that's it. So no, I'm just rooting for this thing to to hit my initial TP. So I can lock in some profit, and then put a stop to break even. Give the remaining position a chance, see what it wants to do. So just one more push here, we should get to TP. Just one more push. See what the overall markets are doing. So SPY looks really, really bullish. So too does the Nasdaq, but less so than the SPY. Wow, and the Russell looks really, really good. So I'm thinking that we should get a fill here, guys. We should get to TP, initial TP. I think I probably would have already gotten a fill if I left my original TP at 2 to 1, but I'm just gonna check. I'm just gonna try to squeeze a little bit more out. I think I'm gonna get filled. Let's see, guys. We're really close, just about a penny away. Come on, MVTR. Come on, MVT. You can do this. Come on. Just one more small push, and we're gonna get there, guys. Come on. Come on, MVT. You can do this. Give me this, baby. Come on. In case you know, I'm just gonna put my stock below the $half, just in case. It's around 33.50, so now, you know what I'm saying? Just in case this thing wants to do some weird shit. Um, yeah, so the markets are going berserk now. IMVT should definitely hit TP. You know, there's no way out. You know, there's no way this thing doesn't hit. There's no way this thing doesn't get to TP. You know what I'm saying? Well, anything is possible, like I said. Maybe I have to put my stop back to break even. This thing is acting so weird. Really, really thought this thing would have hit TP, you know, especially with the buying pressure in the overall markets. Come on, MVT. Come on, you can do this, baby. Come on. Come on, MVT. So at this point in time, I'm guaranteed to have a profitable day. The only thing I don't know is how profitable I'm going to be, but I'm definitely going to lock in some kind of profit today. I'm hoping that it's not going to be like, um, the smaller side. I'm hoping that MVT doesn't disappoint me, but you never know. Anything is possible. So the SPY looks really bullish in all time frames. So too does the Nasdaq and the Russell. So IMVT should definitely work. I'm leaving my stop at 33.48. I'm not gonna move my stop because if this thing goes all the way back down there, then I'm just gonna walk away. Yeah, I mean, with the bullishness in the overall markets, and this thing being so bullish at the start of the day, and it's the reason. I mean, yes, in the short term, it can, easily pull back and then go higher, but I'm hoping it doesn't. So now I'm kind of regretting that I didn't stick to my initial TP at 2 to 1. It'd been so much more comfortable having 100 in the bank, you know. Got a bit greedy. The price got like 2 pennies away from my initial take profit target and didn't hit. You Come on, MVP. You can do this, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, MVP. No, I'm going to put my stop below the low of the prior 5 minute candle. Yeah, I don't like the way this thing is acting, man. It should be. Yeah, so if it goes candle on the 5, I'm just going to leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just going to leave it alone. So now, yeah, I think I might even partial just now. If it pops up again and it doesn't give me my TP, then I'm just gonna, come on, MVP, come on. All right, so I'm just gonna stop being greedy and yeah, just gonna partial there. I'm gonna stop back to break even. Just yeah, just gonna stop being greedy. All right, so just gonna relax and just give this other piece a chance. So now I have $90.35 in the bank, right? And with the potential to make a lot more. So yeah, I feel much more comfortable, guys. So I'm thinking that if we can pop up too, so of course it pops now, no problem. I'm still in it. So now I'm thinking if it can pop up to about 35, I'll be happy to take another partial profit again. So when I'm in situations like this, what I do is I try to imagine like, if I was holding this stock short, like, how would I feel right now? Um, I would be worried, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would be so worried if I was holding this thing short. So let's say I got in short here, around 34.50, looking for rejection at resistance here. I would be so worried because this thing is holding up so I'm seeing it's holding up so good. It's holding up so good at resistance. I'm thinking I feel I want to take another partial out here, guys. But I'm just gonna try to be a bit more patient because the markets are so bullish. The overall markets are so bullish. I'm guaranteed to have a green day. So yes, there's no reason really for me to, So the Nasdaq, the spike continues to look bullish. So too does the Nasdaq, and the Russell still continues to lead the pack. So there's absolutely no reason for me to worry. Yeah, it's just gonna pull back and gyrate. That's normal price movement. So I really think this thing looks like it's gonna hit new highs on the day. I think it's gonna break out, guys. I think it's gonna break through this level. It's 34.70 pre-market high, back up to at least 35. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pass it if it gets out there. I already have my order out. Otherwise, I'm just gonna continue to be patient and hold. It's uptrending. It's looking good. It's no reason for me to like, yeah. There's still like 5.5 hours left in the day, so I'm just gonna chill, hold the stock. It's just trending nicely, clean, holding above the 9 EMA and the 5. The spread has tightened up. It's consistently below 10 cents now. It was a bit more volatile a little earlier, so it's struggling here. I mean, not surprisingly. I mean, this is a bigger picture level. It's at a bigger picture level, 34.45, and it's just below the pre-market high at 34.70. So a lot of sellers, short sellers, profit takers are going to come in here, but so far they haven't been able to push the price down. So if I was holding this stock short right now, I would be so worried. It's just holding like 2 to 3 pennies off or higher there. If it goes on to take out the higher, they take out 34.70, 34.75. Shots are gonna be in a world of pain. Because this thing hasn't really like gone vertical or anything. It's just like grinding. Sort of grindy act, sort of price action. So when you're long, Like these low float type stocks, this is exactly what you want to see it just grinding up. So it's like every time like the stock tries to go down, it's like buyers just come right back in, boom, you know, and then it just hits new high. Then it dips back a bit, new highs, dips back a bit, new highs, so yeah. So what I think I want to do, I think I'm gonna put my stop up to the low of this prior 5 minute candle till 391. Right, so yeah, it's till 391. Um, yeah, so it's locking some profits, locking a bit more profits because this is a major resistance level. So if it turns out, if the sellers end up taking control here, then I'm not gonna keep holding this thing. I'm just gonna leave it alone, let it pull back, maybe see if it sets up again and I want to go higher. But it's a resistance now. I'm so tempted to take a partial here, but all of my instincts are telling me this thing is gonna go higher. So my instincts are telling me, the stock is gonna keep popping higher. You know, so just as long as it holds trend, I'm gonna be in it. I'm gonna be in this thing until the trend ends. Stick to the trend until the end. Stick to the trend until the end. You know what I'm saying? And this thing looks so good. This looks so good. I mean, if you look at the daily, you know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. Breaking out of a daily consolidation. If you look at the 30-minute chart, it's beautiful uptrending. You know, everything looks so good. So these are the kind of trade. These are the setups and trades that are. This is why you play this game. For these types of setups. So yeah, guys. So once the stock continues to just hold here, there's a very good chance that it's going to continue to squeeze shorts. You know, this had a bit of a dip, but as you can see dip down to 34, buys came right back. You know what I'm saying? So if I was short the stock, I would be so fucking worried, guys. So worried. I'm telling you this. Yeah, I've seen these types of moves like hundreds, if not thousands of times, and this thing is very likely to continue squeezing. Okay, so the SPY looks bullish. Nasdaq continues to look bullish. IWM continues to lead the pack. Everything looks good. So far, so good. It looks really good. It doesn't really matter to me what this thing wants to do. It stops me out. I'm gonna make money. If it pushes high, I'm gonna make money. So, that's the position that you want to be in. Come on, VT. Come on, baby. Based on what I'm seeing, all I gotta do is just hold, just hold. I mean, imagine that you're short the stock. Imagine that you're in the stock, betting that it's gonna go lower from here, and it's doing what it's doing now. I think I would be so fucking worried. You know what I'm saying? This is not looking good for the sharks. I know I'm telling you. The only thing I'm trying to decide if I wanna leave my take profit out at 34.98 or okay. So I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna cancel this order here. I'm gonna cancel the order because I think there's every chance that this thing goes through 35. The stock can definitely pop through 35. You know what I'm saying? This thing can definitely get through 35. Okay, so it's acting a bit funky, guys. Come on, IMVT, come on. If it keeps rejecting here, I might take a partial off. Just lock in some more profits. Come on, IMVT, you can do this, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. The markets continue to be bullish, but choppy somewhat, but still bullish. I think I just need to continue to just be more patient. What I think I want to do, I think I'm gonna continue to move my stop up. So if it pulls back, yeah, just gonna lock in the profit and be done for the day. If it pulls back now, I'm gonna be up like two times what I was risking on the trade, so it wouldn't be a bad day at all. But if it can push up, if it can keep pushing up, you know, then I would really love that. And so far, so good. It's trying to hold above the pre-market high. Come on, MVP, come on. Come on, MVP. Okay, I just partial there because, I'm just wasn't feeling comfortable with the way it's acting a bit. But, so yeah, guys, as you can see, I have about 160 bucks locked in, you know. From now, it's just a matter how far IMVT wants to go. All right. So I'm just gonna let this last 33 shares ride a bit, see what's up. So like I said, this thing looks like it to keep squeezing, and so far so good. So I'm just gonna hold on to IMVT until it breaks this trend. So like I said, guys, the trend is your friend until the end. So I'm just gonna put my stop up to 43.98, just below the whole dollar. So you have the trend, you have this level, you have 34.47 support level, you have the whole dollar support, the trend line support, and then you have the whole dollar support at 34. So if it breaks through all that support, starts me out 33.98, I'm gonna be satisfied, guys. You know, yeah, I'm gonna be satisfied with that. 23.88 minus 22.74. Yeah, so no matter what this thing does now, I'm guaranteed to make two times what I was risking initially. So it's just a matter of being patient now and just letting the stock roll. Just trailing, just trail my stop, trail my stop, trail my stop. You know. So like I said, if I was short this thing, I would be so worried because every time it tries to, every time the sellers try to take control, buyers just keep coming right back in. Boom, boom. So it's holding the support. 34.47 support is holding so far. So far, so good. If it continues to hold, then shots are going to be in a world of pain. It's just, you know, like I said, I've seen this touch the most hundreds of times before, if not thousands. And, you know, it's not looking good for the shots. And then, of course, you have the longs who they don't have any rules, they don't have any system. They're just looking to jump on anything that's up, moving higher, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, this thing's going up. I'm gonna get in." So they can add to the buying pressure as well. Even though majority of times they're gonna lose money because they're probably gonna end up getting out at a price that's gonna be below wherever they're getting in. Unless this thing goes really berserk, which of course is possible, but it's already so extended on the 30-minute chart, extended on the daily, so could pull back. So let's see if the 34.45 level is gonna hold. Love to see a hold and squeeze back above 35. But in life, we don't always get what we want. Okay, so it's below, it's about below 34.45. It's the first time it's got a candle on the 5. Let's see if it's gonna follow through to the downside or if the buyers are gonna come right back in. So as you can see, buyers so far the buyers have come right back in. So this is not a good sign for the shorts. It's definitely not a good sign for shorts. If this goes back on to take back out 35. Shorts are gonna be forced to cover, and that's gonna add to the buying pressure to the upside. And like I said, amateurs are gonna chase as well. High day breaks, whatever, momentum, scans, all that bullshit. So MVD continues to look so good. Come on, MVT, let's take out the high of the day and keep pushing higher, baby. Come on. So if this thing breaks above 35, if it breaks 35, starts to hold above 35, then I'm gonna adjust my trailing stop to just below 34, 33, 34, 31, something like that. So like I said, I'm gonna put my stop up to 34, 21 now. Nice. So as long as MVT continues to hold this uptrend, there's basically not much for us to do but just adjust our stop as needed, based upon the price structure on the five. Yeah. So far so good. Let's see what the SPY is doing. So SPY looks good. And that looks good. IWM looks really good. Yeah, so nothing to do but just continue holding. Nice. Boring but profitable. Okay, guys, so finally got trailed out, so it broke the trend, broke support and everything, stopped me out. So, end up making $211.13 from $100 risk. Can't complain. One shot, one kill for me today. So that's it for me, guys. I'm just gonna take my profit and call it a day here. Just making sure I have no open positions, no open orders. So see you guys tomorrow, God's will, God's willing, and I'm out.